Gene Hackman's kids, not mentioned in his will. Here's what could happen to his $80 million fortune. Guys, it's a little weird story here, so let me read it to you. Gene Hackman, 95-year-old Oscar-winning actor known for The French Connection and The Birdcage, and his 65-year-old wife, Betsy Arakawa, were found dead in their Santa Fe, New Mexico home, February 26, 2025, with their wills revealing that Hackman's 3 children, son Christopher and daughter Leslie and Elizabeth, were not included as beneficiaries. TMZ reports that in 1995, Hackman named Arakawa the sole beneficiary of his $80 million estate, a decision complicated by their simultaneous deaths within days of each other. Arakawa had a hantavirus, a rare virus linked to rodents on February 11th, and Hackman from a cardiac event on February 18th, 7 days apart, worsened by advanced Alzheimer's and severe heart disease. Listen to this provision, folks. This is where it gets interesting. The wills included a provision that if they died within 90 days of each other, a.k.a. a simultaneous death, all of Arakawa's assets would go to charity, not to his 3 kids, leaving the children potentially excluded. Since New Mexico community property states adds legal complexity without a prenup from their 1991 marriage, the couple's deaths uncovered after their dogs led responders to Hackman's body have sparked potential legal battles, with Hackman's son Christopher already hiring a prominent California trust and estate attorney to possibly challenge the will. Tom.
Well, 2 things. We saw it in life insurance. And how often do we see it, Pat? That people, whenever we would talk to people about life insurance, what else do we talk about? Trust and will, and making it current and specific. And we had a big sign on the wall that listed all of these prominent people over the course of history that didn't have wills that led to complications. Remember that? And we would be sitting there counseling people, just trying to figure out how much life insurance they needed, and then end up talking about, well, do you even have a will? Do you even have this? You need a trust attorney. You need to go this. And so what you have here is, if it's a will, not a trust, and that what they're saying is, if both of them were in a terrible car accident, the 90-day clause goes like this. Somebody dies in a car accident, and maybe it takes somebody, 30 days to die. Maybe there's no brain activity, there's a head injury, and it takes a while before they say, well, we're going to turn off the respirator here, unfortunately, and it's all done. That's what the 90-day clause is. And the 90-day clause, what they've put in is, okay, well, if we both die in some accident, that's what it is. It's not murder-suicide, it's some accident. Then it goes to charity. And if that's clearly put in their will, there's nothing any of the kids can do about it, but they can contest it.
What the son has to prove, Christopher has to prove that it was suicide, not accident.
Yeah, he's got to prove that there's something up. Because if they both just happen to die within 90 days.
There's nothing they can do.
But the days, like I was saying, do you understand? That's usually a car accident clause. Dad died immediately, Mom hung on, and then she passed.
So, well, I'm going on the weird thing. Like, it just, a bunch of stuff it just wasn't adding up. So now we're hearing that the wife, Betsy, called her doctor a day after the official date of her death. I'm going to say that again. Her doctor said that she called her. She was already dead, but yet she made this phone call, which is kind of weird. And all the stuff that with the clause and the charity and everything, Dr. Josiah Child from Cloudberry Health dropped a bombshell saying that Betsy contacted his clinic on February 12th seeking an echocardiogram from Gene, even though the authorities claim she died on February 11th. And let's not forget, she was diagnosed with hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, but showed 0 respiratory distress during the call. Apparently, when you have that disease, you sound like this. She didn't sound anything like that, okay? And then it gets even weirder. Their dog was found dead. And then, so how does a couple, their dog, all die under these weird circumstances, and nobody noticed for, I don't even, how many days was it, Tom? 12 days? It was a bunch of days. All right, just random and bizarre. And then with all this mystery and weird circumstance, this situation yesterday, I sent it to Rob, Pat, reminded me of what actor Randy Quaid, if some of the viewers remember this, he warned us years ago, okay? He said that, and by the way, this is my opinion, but this is what Randy Quaid was saying, that he talked about celebrities being manipulated, their wealth siphoned away, and their own flesh and blood left with nothing. He called them star whackers, which is a ring of estate planners, lawyers, accountants who systematically destroy and even kill Hollywood stars to seize their fortunes. This is him. This is a clip from 2010, I believe. But he was, by the way, awesome guy. Once this happened, he had to flee to freaking Canada and leave because of everything that they were doing to him to try to get his fortune. Go ahead, Robbie.
For the past 20 years, my wife Evie and I have been the victims of criminal activities perpetrated by a small network of individuals who are out to destroy us personally, professionally, and financially. This network of individuals is manipulating the banking system and the criminal justice system for the purposes of sabotaging our credit and our credibility. Up until a year ago, Evie and I had never had any run-in with the law whatsoever. We are not criminals, nor are we fugitives from justice, nor are we crazy. We are simply artists and filmmakers who are being racketeered on. We believe there are to be a malignant tumor of star whackers in Hollywood. How many people do you know personally who have died suddenly and mysteriously in the past 5 years? I have personally known 8 actors, all of whom
He's emotional, dude.
I have worked with and was close to. Heath Ledger, Chris Penn, David Carradine among them. I believe these actors were whacked, and I believe that many others, such as Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, and Mel Gibson, are being played to get at their money. In the meantime, many a celebrity's image and marketability is being co-opted and destroyed. Google helps out by keeping the negative stories near the top of a celebrity's webpage because it's the negativity that brings in the advertising revenue.
So with these, and again, speculation. He spoke about this years.
Gene Hackman was 95, though.
No, I understand that, but the wife and the disease and then the dog, it just doesn't add up.
That doesn't add up. But to say somebody tried to take him out, I'm not there because he's 80, he's 95. I mean, if he died at 65, Heath Ledger, totally get it. Okay, fine. He was younger, yes. Targeting of Mel Gibson after he made certain comments and, the anti-Semitism 30 years ago. I don't know when it was when he made some comments and then all of a sudden we saw a drop. I get it. Some of these guys, I get it. I don't know about Gene Hackman. I don't know if that applies to Gene Hackman.
But what about the clause, Pat, with the 90 days and the wife?
That's very weird.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
By the way,
who said,
I'm curious.
Yeah.
The only thing is I don't think if there's anybody, if I was an investigator and I'm trying to see what's going on here, and I'm not a PI, this is not my space. If I was, I would want to know how she died, not him.
Yes. Yep.
I want to know how she died. I understand how he died. I want to know how she died. That's the one I'm interested in. Where that goes to from here, the guy was 90. I mean, by the way, if you even see the pictures of Gene Hackman, you don't recognize him.
Yeah, you wouldn't
No,
find him in the
if you
lineup.
saw him in the streets, you wouldn't realize that's
all.
Gene Hackman. Can you pull up the final pictures? That does not look like Gene Hackman.
At all.
Tell me what part of that picture looks like Gene Hackman.
Zero.
He's 95.
That does not look like Gene. You go to Gene Hackman, like peak Gene Hackman. Type in
guy.
young Gene Hackman. Young Gene Hackman.
Mississippi burning Gene Hackman.
Watch. I mean,
Yeah.
well, maybe we're not.
Yeah, it doesn't look anything like him.
That's not as. Listen, maybe that didn't work.
was-
That's good.
There he is,
Right there. But-
Lex Luthor.
By the way, go
Going
back,
for
Rob,
Zach.
and go to the
Backfired.
picture all the way
Popeye
to the left. The
Doyle.
second one, or one more lower, Rob, left.
Floor.
See, that's a rough picture right
That's
there.
rough. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're in the
Great
military
actor.
and they take pictures like that, you're doomed for the rest of your life because
It's
someone's
over.
going to see those pictures.
Yeah.
They're going to realize your ears are legit.
Yeah.
Right? This guy probably worked communication in the military.
Yeah, for sure.
Pat, I see what you did there, by the way. You were like, hey, Mateo, nice haircut. Hey, Tony, nice suit. I see what you did there.
You have to
but
be there.
here's what I will say, because I'm going to take a different angle than Vinny. I haven't followed the story at all. I know you want to move on, but
I have one story. I have one story and we're done. Go for it.
So I haven't followed the story at all, but what stories I have followed are these estate planning fails that Tom was referencing. I feel so grateful and so lucky to be in the industry that I've been in for almost 20 freaking years now, which is
You're
the
old.
insurance. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
The insurance, investment, financial planning, and estate planning career sector. So, Rob, I sent you a picture just so you understand to people I have a real job other than this, in case I end up getting fired. I go to this meeting every single year called Heckerling. It's put on by the University of Miami, and all it is are the top estate planning professionals, trusts, ILITs, tax attorneys, everything like that, by massive companies, U.S. Trust, Bloomberg, Charles Schwab, and I have conversations with each of these people. And the amount of people that die with no estate plan, with no trust, the tax ramifications, I know there's a whole argument of like how much the threshold should be. Aretha Franklin, she died, no will. Prince dies, no will. Heath Ledger, outdated will. Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead, nothing. Robert Kardashian died, nothing. George Michael, all these people died. The one that hit the closest home to me was, you ever been to Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami for a football game?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know for many, many years it was called Joe Robbie Stadium? Joe Robbie Stadium was the owner of the Dolphins. When he died, he had no estate plan, no insurance. The team was valued at, let's say, $200 million at the time. They go, you owe $100 million. And he's like, the family, we don't have, you have to sell the stadium, you have to sell the team. That's what happens when you have a massive estate plan bill and don't have any plans to pay it.
Yeah. Listen, Rob, between us, Adam's reached the number of pictures for the year. There's a limit.
That's it.
That's the 7th picture I saw of Adam today, and they're all 10 years ago. So I don't know if
gotta
Adam wants
update
to see
his
himself
headshots.
to show the world how handsome he was 10 years ago. I think that's...
I think I'm better looking now, Pat, but thanks.
Than Gene Hackman. Than Gene
way better
Hackman,
than
maybe,
Gene.
but that's a different
He was so
story.
young
Look,
and full of
He
hope.
won a couple Oscars, though. We announced the Yeti collaboration with all of these. Like this. Gone. Okay? And by the way, a bunch of guys are posting them. Ladies, this was the ladies' number one. You guys wouldn't even wait on this one here. This didn't stand a chance. And I have the red one, which is the one I use. Reason why I'm not wearing a jacket, because I'm famous for spilling protein drinks on my jacket. And by the way, literally what I'm telling you is, this isn't the first time. A couple of weeks ago, I spilled the whole thing, and I'm driving. I'm like, this place smells like a protein drink. So, wow, this thing's very strong. I look to my right. The entire protein drink on the entire car. We have to take it professional. They have to suck the protein drink out of the seat in the Porsche 911. They're like, this is... Anyways, the guy made some money that day.
Just thank God it wasn't onions, Pat.
But well, at least it smells good. Anyways, these went. And we have a lot of new surprises coming up for a lot of you. But I will tell you guys, parents, if you have kids that are 12 and up, including yourself, if you have not yet ordered the Academy, go order it. You will see why. Okay? There's a lot of people that are not happy about this book. There's a lady that made a video about this, about, the Academy online, pissed off. How could you say stuff like this in the book? Because there's a scene in the book that Margaret Thatcher is debating Karl Marx. If you haven't yet ordered it for yourself and your kids and you've not read it, go ahead and order the book. Anybody that places the order today, Rob, if I'm not mistaken, signed copy of this, they get 4 bookmarks of the Academy that'll be put in there with you as well for anyone that orders a book, especially the fact that this is what do they call this month, Rob? March is
National Reading Month.
National Reading Month. Catch up on the books. Place the order for Academy for yourself and your kids above the age of 12, which is what I did with my kids. My Dylan also read it. You'll get 4 custom bookmarks being sent your way. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.